All right, let's dive right in. We're going to build your playbook for content marketing in 2026. Why? Because the rules you're playing by right now, well, they're about to become ancient history. See, generative AI isn't just some new tool. Nope, it's a completely new game with a totally different rulebook. And this quote? This is exactly why we need to have this conversation. The game has already changed. It's shifting from that slow, one-post-a-week grind to a full-blown, automated, high-volume production line. This isn't science fiction. It's happening as we speak. The scale is just mind-boggling, and it means we have to think in a completely new way.
So the big question is, how do you even start to compete in this new world? Well, you've got to start by understanding the new playing field. And that first huge shift, it's moving from just optimizing for search engines to optimizing for AI itself. For what, a decade? We've all been obsessed with SEO, search engine optimization. Cracking the code of the Google algorithm. But the reality of 2026 is all about AIO, AI optimization. We're not just trying to show up on a list of blue links anymore. The new goal is to become the direct source for AI answer engines like Gemini and Perplexity. And here's the key takeaway for AIO. It forces you to write for two very different audiences at the same time. You still, absolutely, need to connect with your human reader. You need clarity, emotion, a real voice. But you also have to feed the AI engine. It needs structured, factual, authoritative data so it trusts your content enough to use it as the source for its own answers. Okay, so understanding AIO is the what. Now let's get into the how. Because a great AI content factory isn't about just mindlessly hitting the generate button over and over. It always starts with a smart, predictive strategy.
The old way of doing content was pretty reactive, right? We'd see a trend, and then we'd scramble to jump on it. With AI, our strategy can finally become predictive. By sifting through massive amounts of data, AI can spot these hidden narratives and tell you what topics are going to matter to your audience before they even start trending. You're not just joining the conversation anymore, you're starting it.
And when it is time to actually create, you can't just type "write me a blog post." If you want content that has actual soul, you need to use smarter techniques. Think of chain of thought prompting. It's like giving the AI a step-by-step thinking process to follow. And with few-shot prompting, you give it a couple of perfect examples of your brand's voice, and it mimics it. That's the difference between getting generic junk and content that actually sounds like you.
All right, with that predictive strategy locked in, we can finally fire up the engine. This is where we build the system to create amazing assets at a scale that honestly was totally unimaginable until now. And believe it or not, it all starts with just one single, huge core asset. This could be a really deep research report, a comprehensive webinar, maybe an hour-long video. This is your pillar. It's the foundation for the whole campaign, where you pour all of your best insights and data.
Now, from here, the process is just fascinating. We take that one massive core asset and we feed it to an AI for what we call atomization. The AI's only job is to break it down and pull out every single valuable little piece of information.
And the result? It's exponential. That one core asset can easily become 50 or even more platform-native pieces. A key statistic turns into a LinkedIn post. A great story becomes a script for a TikTok. A deep insight becomes a section in your newsletter. It's one major effort that fuels dozens and dozens of targeted pieces of content.
But, and this is so important, this is never a hands-off process. The real magic happens with a human-in-the-loop workflow. Let the AI do the heavy lifting, right? The initial research, the basic outline, that messy, ugly first draft. Your job, the human's job, is to inject what the AI can't, your company's own data, your personal stories that build a real connection, and that critical emotional nuance that makes people actually care.
And hey, this isn't just about text. The same revolution is happening with video. In 2026, you don't just make a video, you build a whole visual system. Tools like Sora and Veo can generate cinematic ads without a film crew. LTX Studio can make sure your brand's character looks exactly the same in every single shot. And then tools like Opus Clip can instantly find and cut up viral short-form clips from your long-form core asset. It's like having an entire production studio powered by a single prompt. So we have our strategy. We have dozens of assets ready to go. Now for the final stage, distribution. Let's look at how we get all of this out into the world and make sure it performs, all at machine speed.
This is where something called agentic publishing comes in. Using platforms like Zapier Central, you can set up AI agents that don't just schedule posts. No, they actively publish
They watch the engagement in real time, and then they adapt the content or the schedule based on what's actually working. All of this happens without you having to be involved moment to moment.
Think about a classic marketing problem, right? You've got this amazing ad, but you have no idea which headline is actually going to make people click. In the past, you might A/B test 2 options and then wait a week to see what happened.
Well, with AI, you run dynamic content tests. You give the AI one goal, and it will generate 100 different versions of your headline or your thumbnail. It tests them all at once, automatically kills the ones that aren't working, and pumps all the budget into the winners. You can find the best performing creative in a few hours, not weeks.
Now, with all this talk about automation and factories, I know it's easy to think the human is kind of being pushed out of the picture, but actually, the exact opposite is true. Our role is just evolving. It's becoming more strategic, more creative, and frankly, more important than ever.
Your role in this new world really boils down to 3 key things. First, you provide the strategy. The AI is a world-class engine, but you're the driver holding the map. Second, you add that irreplaceable nuance, the stories, the data, the soul. And third, you are the final checkpoint for using this power responsibly and ethically.
And let's be real. In a world that's going to be flooded with synthetic content, transparency isn't just good ethics, it's good business. Clearly labeling AI-generated media and just being upfront about your process is how you keep your audience's trust. Because in this new landscape, trust is your most valuable asset, period.
And if you remember one thing, let it be this. Don't fall into the trap of trying to outproduce another AI factory on sheer volume. That's a race to the bottom. Let the AI handle the scale so you can focus your uniquely human brain on making every single piece more relevant, more insightful, and more deeply connected to your audience.
So look, the AI content factory is here. It's already running 24/7. The real question isn't if you're going to use it, but how you're going to use it. Are you going to be the one who shifts from just chasing volume to creating real human value? Are you ready to compete on relevance